and welcome to Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. It's 10:45 a.m. I'm on the road to Salome. I'm doing a delivery / my customer visits. If you've been following along the last few weeks, I've made this trip out here now twice. The first time was following up with my dad. He went out there to talk to one or two people. He had one customer already locked in, committed. I went out there and picked up 3 more customers. A fourth had called because of the first customer. They said, hey, I'm just going to start using these company. You should start talking to them. They reached out to me. I said, hey, I'll be out there in a couple of days. I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and talk, which we did. And when I left, I picked up 4 new customers. So we had 5 customers out here in Salome now where we had 0. So boom, instant. We now have a route. 1 day a week we're delivering out here. Starting next week, we're going to add a second day. And that's one of the reasons why I'm coming out here again, is to see if I can get commitment from all of them to say, hey, realistically, to make this worth it, we need at least 3 decent sized orders. And by decent, I mean, an arbitrary number that my brothers have in their head, or if as long as it's like this much money, it's worth it. And then if I can get 3 anchor orders, the other 2 can give us literally anything. It can be small, doesn't matter. If I can get 3 decent sized orders to anchor it, which I'm pretty confident 2 of them are going to give us bonkers orders, because they both said Mondays are much bigger than their Thursdays. So that's great. And again, if I can get 2 or 3 of those, then the other 2 can give me literally whatever I want. So that's the goal out here. I decided to hook the camera up so I had time. I could be hands-free and just I just want to riff a little bit here. And of course, I'll go back and edit tomorrow when I edit this vlog, how much this will get edited. But a few things that have been, I kind of been talking about a little bit the last few days on the vlogs, with my hikes and my walks. But we're going into 2024. It's been 3 months now of daily vlogs. I haven't been podcasting, even though I did 2 or 3 episodes back to back, bam, 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 and then lost momentum, as it happens. I haven't been streaming on Twitch. I haven't been playing video games, and I got the itch to do that. Tarkov's back. I'm fully committed to my dad's business, helping my brother. I'm, as of this moment, in a good place of what that role looks like for the next, I'm just going to say 90 days, so we're going to go at a quarter at a time. For the next 90 days, what my role and what my schedule is going to look like. And as long as my brother communicates with me and tells me what he's thinking and what he wants, and I know that, then I feel the confidence to just make decisions and do things with the complete goal of new customer acquisition. That's the number one thing that I'm here to focus on is new customer acquisition. But then secondarily is, building more business with our current customers, letting them know that we carry certain things, or just being in their kitchen, seeing what other items that they have that maybe they're not ordering from us for one reason or another, and just strengthening the relationships. We have some phenomenal customers. We have some phenomenal relationships with these customers, and I would like to do that with more of our customers. Where there's the complete trust that whatever they need, we'll take care of them. So while I'm, most of my energy and my thought process, my focus is on this business, I'm trying to find the balance to maintain some form of focus on this business, because it is still a business, right? I still have bills. I have business expenses. And the year just ended. I'm going to jump on my taxes as soon as I possibly can, because I'm a little worried that I'm going to owe a fat number this year because I didn't pay anything. So there's going to be penalties and late fees and all that stuff. I understand that, but just the way everything happened this year and the tail end of 2022, kind of figuring out what the new norm was. I dropped the ball, and I haven't paid any taxes. So I'm expecting, a hefty bill. With that being said, we got a fat refund last year because of the way things worked out. So who knows? Maybe the two will wash itself out and it'll just break even, which would be fantastic. I'd be super happy not to get a refund if it means I didn't owe any money. Net zero, done. But the point I'm getting at is that I've been thinking a lot. I'm constantly thinking about content creation and where I'm at right now with it. We're 3 months in daily vlogging, and I'm still in love with the process and with it. I'm super happy that you're here, you're watching. You know, whether you leave a comment or not, I always encourage you to leave a comment, because I love to know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, and even if it's just something as simple as like, hey, how was your day? Let me know how your day was. Like, every day, every vlog, if I don't ask that question, I apologize, but I'm going to try really hard to ask you that question. How was your day? Now, granted, you might be watching this first thing in the morning. You rolling out of bed. Maybe you're still in bed. Hi. Nice PJs. How was yesterday? If this is the first thing you're doing is watching this, you haven't even started your day yet, well, how was yesterday? How was your evening? How was your weekend? If you're watching this, Monday morning, whatever. Like, the vlogs are very ambiguous in regards to time. So that's why I don't say good morning. Typically, I don't say good evening, good afternoon, because it's like time zones, man. The world is round. So I'm in love with YouTube again, and I'm looking at things in a much different way this time, because my goal isn't to become a full-time YouTuber. I've already did that. I've been there, done that, right? My goal isn't to, hit this like arbitrary number. I mean, yes, I want to hit 1 million subs, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, so it's not really a goal, right? For me to say my goal is to hit 790,000 subs this year, sure, that's a more realistic goal. That's something that I can actually have benchmarks and obtain. It's an obtainable goal. I could get 3,000 subs this year, right? That's realistic. To get the 220,000 that I need to get 1 million, not realistic. Not in the next 5 years. So I'm looking at YouTube differently this time, because I'm not trying to chase something. If anything, I've said this before, I'm rebuilding, right? I took a long enough break from vlogging and from YouTube that I think I'm kind of resetting my audience. Now, granted, a lot of older viewers are coming back, especially because I'm going through and interacting with old comments from 2 years ago, just trying to clear out my comment queue so that when I open it up, I'm only seeing the newest stuff, and if there's nothing in there, it means I've replied or liked every comment, which is my goal, is to interact with every comment. So, bring back some old viewers by doing that, which is great, because my thought process is like, you once loved my content, maybe you'll love my new style of content, but you won't know unless you try, unless you come back and check. And with that being said, I'm going to lose some subs. I'm just really trying to. I need to give myself time to sit down and formulate, a blueprint, a structure for my content, because just YouTube alone, there are 5 pieces of content that I can create at any given moment, right here on my phone with my YouTube app, right? So you've got long form video, you've got shorts, you got live, you have posts, which are your, photos, text posts, polls, that sort of thing. But then we also have podcasts, and I separate podcasts because YouTube does, but I separate it because I think the difference between a podcast and a long form video is the intent behind the piece of content. A podcast is one topic, right? Or maybe it's one focal point. It could be a guest, and then of course the guest, they talk about multiple topics, but the guest is the focal point. Whereas my long form videos, my vlogs, tend to be a lot more randomized, right? Because it's my day. So in one video that could be 15 to 20 minutes long, I could talk about 10 different topics. And that's why I feel like sometimes when I do these long rants, I delete them, because I've got stuff in the beginning, and I got stuff at the end, but then there's this piece in the middle that's just like a big fat juicy burger, and it's like it doesn't fit. That's a bad analogy because it does fit, but you get my point, where it's like there's this stuff and there's this stuff and there's this big thing in the middle, and it doesn't quite fit, so just delete it. And now that just flows. It's a day in the life of Clintus. And I feel like I have these longer rants because I'm not streaming as often. When I streamed every day, I didn't vlog because I said everything I wanted to say. I got it all off my chest, I got everything out of my head. And streaming is just a flow. There's no structure to it because it's just you're on, you're live, go. So I don't know. I don't know if that means I need to do more live streams. You know, go live, do more shorter live streams. I don't know. Again, I need to give myself time to structure all that. All right, 1 p.m. I did the delivery, and I've made 3 stops, new potential customers, just ones that I just haven't, I've either drove by, you know, timing wise, I was in a hurry or I missed it or whatever, but one I've stopped at numerous times and missed the owner every time. Actually got to talk to the owner, so that was good. Second one was one on my list, but just haven't made a chance to go. Met that owner. And then this one I apparently just missed or overlooked the last couple times I've been out here. Stopped in there, spoke to just a kitchen staff, but she pointed out the owner. She's obviously cooking busy. A lot of these small little places, man, the owner is the operator. Very much like my dad's business, where they're on the line, they're cooking. You know, it's their kitchen, their business, and they're doing their thing. You know. So anyway, that's it. We're done with Salome at this point. The next stop will be Wickenburg, and I've got. If the timing works out, hopefully I can drop into the 2 cafes that I didn't get a chance to go into last time I was here, and then there's 2 that I want to circle back around to that had good kind of interactions with, and just again try to like, hey, just a reminder, we'll be out here delivering Thursday if you need anything, and also next week starting Mondays, you know, and kind of build that dialogue. That's the whole point of me doing this. But I think depending on, well, next week we're delivering Mondays and Thursdays, so I don't think I'll be out here next week, but the following week for sure. All right, got home from my trip. Wanted to go for a run. Tiffany got home shortly after I did. She's like, I want to go for a run. So we're going for a run. And I already vlogged one clip, but apparently the phone didn't rotate before I hit record, so it was all vertical. So I was sideways. Anyway, I was way further than her, but I took a wrong turn somewhere. She took the shortcut, or at least she took the route that she was saying she was going to take, and I went a different route, so we ended up meeting back up each other. So now she's back behind me, even though in the last clip she wasn't nowhere to be found. Look at this girl, meal prepping some salads. You tell them your idea, how you got this idea?
Oh, I've done it a couple of times where I go to Salad and Go, just get a kid salad. Because actually the regular salad, I either get over it or it's too much. So it's put in this bowl. And then I have tuna packets. So I add some of my own meat to it. And it's like the perfect little salad for me.
So you make it 3 of them?
Yeah, so instead of stopping at Salad and Go, I'll make them here. It's kind of beautiful. The same idea. Beautiful.
It is done. Finally completed the base. That was the last piece that I ended on New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. There it is. There's our bonsai. It's pretty rad. My first botanical from LEGO. I was just telling Sierra a few minutes ago that like there's at least 3 others that I know of that I would 100% get and do. So I'm actually gonna look and see what other of the botanical collections, like what other ones maybe I don't know about. But like, so there's at least 2. I'm sorry, I don't know how many I said, but I know there's like, I've seen like 3 or 4, but there's 2 for sure that I want to do. This was the 3rd is what I meant. But the bonsai, the bird of paradise, and the succulents are definitely some other ones I'm gonna look at. But I'm gonna look into what other ones fall into that like botanical category, and you know, I don't know, something maybe a future do. I really enjoyed doing the Lego though. Sierra agreed. I'll show you hers here in a second. She finished hers today as well. But we both agreed that it was just something about just like putting pieces together and it's kind of therapeutic. You can listen to music. She was listening to Taylor Swift while she was doing hers. I could do a live stream. Like, it's just something that I think is very, yeah, there's something to it for sure. I will say this though, it takes up space. It's a thing, right? So once you've built it, which is all great and all, it's like a puzzle. It's on your table. It's covering up, you know, a table at some point. It's good to look at, but then at some point you have to put it back in the box and get rid of it because it's taking up space. So not gonna go out and just be buying Lego every week and just to give me something to do, because obviously I have to be able to put it somewhere, but something to think about, and maybe, you know, for future endeavors. Maybe I put them together and then donate them. I don't know, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Definitely will do more in the future. And here is Sierra's Executor Superstar Destroyer. Turned out really good. I'm curious, like there was all those colored pieces and you just don't really see them. Like the details of that, like the reason to have those, I don't know, they on the sides maybe? I don't know, it just was weird to have all those colors and then they're completely covered up for the most part. I mean, you see a little bit of blue there. But anyway, turned out really cool. She said the same thing. She's gonna find a spot for it and put it up because it's kind of like her first big Lego she put together. Ta-da!